Welcome to the Dynamic Duel Podcast, a weekly show where we review superhero films and debate the superiority between Marvel and DC by comparing their characters in stat-based battle simulations. I'm Johnny DC.
And I'm his twin brother, Marvelous Joe.
And welcome to the 7th Annual Brother Awards, the episode where we award and celebrate the best that the year 2022 had to offer, from movies to television series, specials, and shorts for DC and Marvel.
Yeah, it was a fantastic year. This is the first year in a while where we're not giving awards to spans of years due to COVID. I know last year we gave out awards for 2020 and 2021.
Right, because I only had one film come out in 2020, which was Birds of Prey, I think,
right.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, same, and mine was New Mutants. So this year we had a whole lot of stuff come out for both Marvel and DC, so we can finally put together a solid yearly Brothers Award episode.
Yeah, right. Let me go over the list of media that DC put out that's eligible for this year's awards. We had Catwoman Hunted, Peacemaker Season 1, The Batman, Constantine, The House of Mystery, League of Super Pets, Green Lantern, Beware My Power, The Sandman Season 1, Harley Quinn Season 3, Black Adam, and finally, Batman and Superman Battle of the Super Sons. So 10 pieces of media in total. Great year for DC.
That's even more than Marvel put out, because in 2022, the eligible Marvel pieces of media are Morbius, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, and Black Panther Wakanda Forever for the theatrical releases. Home release-wise, we had Moon Knight Season 1, Ms. Marvel Season 1, The Werewolf by Night Special, She-Hulk Season 1, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. That's only 9, which is pretty surprising.
Yeah, DC, delivering in quantity and quality.
We'll be celebrating all this media in the following categories: Best Trailer, Best Original Music, Best New On-Screen Character, Best Villain, Best Hero, Best Moment, Best Actress, Best Actor, Best Series/Special. We added the /special for this year since we had a couple of specials. And Best Picture.
Yeah, and collected shorts will now be a part of the series and special category. That includes things like Constantine, The House of Mystery.
For those who may not know, if you haven't listened to one of our Brothers Awards episodes before, the Brothers Awards are named after the twin entities from the Marvel vs. DC comic series from the 90s, where the Marvel and DC universes were each represented by a single entity, and they started warring within that comic, and that's how that crossover event happened.
Right, and since those entities were twin brothers, and Joseph and I are twin brothers, we thought it was an apt name for the award, which we post as image files to our social media accounts.
Yeah, check those out. You get to see the Brothers Award statues and get a recap on the winners for this year. Real quick, guys, we just want to give the caveat that we are recording this episode early due to the holiday season. So while by the time you listen to this episode, we will have picked a winner of the Dynamic Duel Infinity Crisis card game among those who donated to our Stand Up to Cancer fundraiser, we won't be announcing it on the podcast until our next episode. But go ahead and check out our social media accounts if you want to see who won.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who donated to this year's charity event. We raised above our $100 goal, and that's great. It's a great cause, and we truly have the best listeners. Thank you, guys.
And before we get into the awards, we want to remind you guys that last week's question of the week still holds, and we'll be taking your answers for that up until December 31st. And that question was,
who would you cast as the new Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Aquaman in James Gunn's new universe?
Record your answer at dynamicduel.com by clicking on the red microphone button in the bottom right-hand corner, which will prompt you to leave us a voicemail. Remember, you only have 30 seconds to answer, and don't forget to leave your name in case we include you on the podcast. We'll pick our favorite answer and award that person a Dynamic Duel No Prize that we'll post to Instagram. Again, you have until December 31st to answer.
But I think it's time to roll out the blue carpet.
You mean the red carpet?
The blue carpet. And
we'll call it purple.
Whatever the color, all of the stars are out on full display in their best attire. Let's head into the main event, the 2022 Brothers Awards.
All right, the best of DC and Marvel, the 2022 Brothers Awards. We're going to start off this ceremony, as we always do, with the Best Trailer Award. Now, there are always a lot of great trailers that come out in the course of the year. We have selected the top 4 as nominees, and from them, we'll be selecting the winner.
Yeah, it was a little challenging to come up with the top 4 trailers I felt for this year. Mainly on DC's end, I think because of the flux state of films that DC is releasing. We were supposed to get quite a few more films this year, including Aquaman and the Flash movies, if you remember. So it was a challenge coming up with just trailers that released in 2022.
It was pretty easy for Marvel, I gotta say. We had a lot of great stuff come out. So basically, I just had an excess of riches for Marvel.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and hear the nominees. We are doing things a little bit differently this year. We have actual presenters presenting these awards.
Yeah, our executive producers, or the ex-pros, as we like to call them.
Let's go ahead and hear the nominees for the first award now.
What's up, guys? It's John Starosky here, and I'm here to tell you the nominees and winner for the Best Marvel Trailer of 2022. And the nominees are Black Panther Wakanda Forever Official Teaser Trailer, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 Official Trailer,
Pete, I'm done running.
Secret Invasion Official Trailer,
How much do you know about your security detail?
What do you mean, how much do I know about him?
and Werewolf by Night Official Trailer.
I can't wait to find out what breed of evil you are.
Well, that's a pretty decent list of trailers. I think I liked all of those.
Yeah, it was so good. So many great trailers.
If I had to guess which one of those was going to get the win, I would say it's probably going to go to the one that was the most emotionally resonant. And that kind of boils down to either Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 or the Black Panther Wakanda Forever teaser. And I think I'm going to go with the latter, Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
And the winner is the Werewolf by Night Official Trailer. This trailer was very cool. It definitely gave everyone a view into a new thing altogether for what Marvel was doing, and I truly hope that we get more things like it in the future.
Holy cow, you went with the dark horse winner there.
You think that Werewolf by Night trailer was a dark horse? Because I think it was so unlike anything else that we had ever seen from a Marvel or DC trailer, and it was phenomenal.
Well, yeah, I'm calling it a dark horse because it was so different. I did not think that was going to get the win. I will say, though, it was a fantastic trailer. In fact, I would argue it was probably better than the actual special.
I don't disagree with you. I think it was at least on par with the special. But I think the trailer evoked like the horror themes even better than the full-length Werewolf by Night special did. Because you had like the eerie Vincent Price kind of narration and the grindhouse effect feel with like the burning reels and everything like that.
Right.
It was really good.
It was really good. Congrats to Werewolf by Night.
Absolutely well-deserved. I don't know if we'll get another Marvel or DC trailer like it. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out on YouTube. It was really good. You know, it wasn't as emotional as Black Panther Wakanda Forever or Guardians of the Galaxy, but I think it was more effective at getting me hyped.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, it looks like I was wrong with my guess. I'm 0 for 1. Let's see how you do, as we have our executive producer, Kent Johnson, present the award for Best DC Trailer.
All right, Johnny, for some DC love. The nominees for the Best DC Trailer of 2022 are Black Adam Official Trailer 2,
We're here to negotiate your peaceful surrender.
Heard about at least 3 killings this afternoon.
I'm not peaceful.
DC, The World Needs Heroes,
There's a glorious world out there waiting for you.
The Sandman, Season 1 Official Trailer,
My creations do not walk amongst the living, killing mortals for pleasure.
Oh, you don't think dreams can die? Let's find it.
Finally, Shazam, Fury of the Gods Official Trailer 1.
Introducing the star of our show. His name is Shazam! Now let's get down to business.
Those are all pretty good. I'm trying to remember what the DC The World Needs Heroes trailer was. Was it that one that included The Flash and Aquaman and a bunch of other projects in like a montage?
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Okay, well, my guess for the DC winner is going to be that one then, since it had a bunch of different projects and, you know, it was actually quite inspiring for DC fans, I think.
And the winner is Black Adam Official Trailer number 2.
Black Adam, huh?
Yeah, so the Black Adam marketing got better and better as we got closer to the film's release date. I wasn't exactly hyped when the initial trailers for this came out, but this last one, I feel like, was the trailer we should have received at the very beginning, because by the time it came out, I could not have been more excited for Black Adam. It featured so many action shots with the Justice Society in particular. We got our first look at Sabak, rising up from the ocean and facing off against Hawkman, who, is like switching his mace into like a battle axe. It was just a really cool trailer, and definitely the one that I think showcased the best of what the film had to offer.
Yeah, I remember that one getting me pretty pumped too. I don't think I was excited for Black Adam to come out until that trailer was released. It really made it look more like an Avengers movie type thing that we were getting. Although Avengers was way better.
I mean, agree to disagree. Agree to disagree there. Regarding your guess, though, of the DC The World Needs Heroes trailer, I included it as a trailer because it was played before movies in theaters. So I thought it kind of earned that designation. It didn't get the win, though, because a week later after they dropped it in theaters, it was already obsolete because Aquaman, The Flash were pushed back to next year.
That's right. It came out around the Super Bowl, I think, right?
Yeah, around then.
Well, congrats to Black Adam for Best DC Trailer. Let's go ahead and move on to our next award category, which is Best Original Music. Now, we give this award to the media that came out that had the best overall score of the year. This was a great year for Marvel music. I had to redo my list of nominees so many different times during the course of the year because things kept getting bumped when newer and better music kept coming out. But almost anything could have been nominated from this year. Very impressive for Marvel.
Yeah, music holds a special place, and I think in a lot of people's hearts when it comes to film scores. It's sort of like modern day classical music. Just listening to it on its own, it should be able to move you as it does in the film. The way I determine a good score personally is by how much it moves me without me really noticing it in the movie.
Yeah, my criteria for judging music is if I hear it and I think that's a bop, then it's good in my mind.
You have to be able to dance to it?
I just have to bob my head,
Okay.
I don't know. Usually something stands out if it's unique as well, if it's something that I feel like is well composed and is unlike anything else I've ever heard before.
Right, yeah, tonally, it should match the project and main character. If a piece of music sounds like it could go with any other character, if it's a little too generic, that's not necessarily, in my opinion, a good score.
Well, let's go ahead and hear the Marvel nominees.
Dustyn Balcom here to present the nominees for the Best Marvel Original Music of 2022. And they are Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special,
I don't know what Christmas is, but Christmas time is here. All I want is you for Christmas.
Miss Marvel Season 1, and Werewolf by Night.
Ooh, okay. I know people love the Black Panther soundtracks. I'm pretty sure the first Black Panther film soundtrack got your brother's award when that film came out, but I gotta say, the songs that came out of the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special were bangers, so I think that's gonna get the win.
And the winner is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I kind of saw that one coming. I don't know about you all, but I think I saw that one coming.
I saw that.
You fool!
Well, why?
I don't know what Christmas is, but Christmas time is here.
No, it was great. You know what? Those two songs that came out for the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special were awesome, but I found the overall score for that special to be a little bit lacking, which is why it did not win the award. Actually, for the longest time, I had Ms. Marvel Season 1 winning this award, and up until the very last minute, up until the release of Wakanda Forever, it had the award, but once I listened to Ludwig Göransson's score, I was like, shit, I can't give it to Miss Marvel. It's got to go to this guy. Between bringing back the old sounds of Wakanda, the new music that he composed for Talokan, the very like techno beats that he created for Shuri's Black Panther theme, it was all incredibly diverse in a way that I don't think many composers can do. Every song felt like its own world, but was still cohesive in this kind of brilliant way.
Okay, you've sold me. All right? Damn. Marvel did have great music, now that I'm thinking about it, coming out this year. Because, my second guess probably would have been Miss Marvel. I remember the music from that. That was great.
Yeah.
But, Wakanda Forever was also very moving. 0 for 2. Well, let's hear the DC nominees presented by executive producer Zachary Hepburn.
The nominees for Best DC Original Music of 2022 are The Batman, Batman and Superman, Battle of the Super Sons, Black Adam, Catwoman, Hunted,
Oh shit, okay, all right. I think I can knock off Black Adam right off the bat, but I know that the rest of the projects, including the Batman, Battle of the Super Sons, and Catwoman Hunted, were all fantastic. And honestly, I think the most unique out of those was Catwoman Hunted. But if I think you're going to go where I think you're going to go, my official guess for this award is going to be the Batman.
And the winner is the Batman. Now, this is specifically regarding Michael Giacchino's soundtrack for the film. And I have to say, definitely one of the best, so definitely the Batman.
Nailed it. Yeah, I mean, totally. And of course I figured you would, because this is hands down, I think, one of the better scores that DC has had for some time, not counting the score for the Joker. Composer Michael Giacchino, I thought, created a very haunting and forceful piece of music for the Batman. And I've liked it ever since I first heard it years ago when they released it as part of the teaser trailer for the Batman.
The costume test thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. They've had that score in the works for quite a while. Michael Giacchino is brilliant. He's done a lot of great work on superhero films, including the Spider-Man MCU films, and of course, Werewolf by Night, which he also directed. It was a great year for him.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the year of Michael Giacchino. But of course, this award isn't just for that specific theme. The entire soundtrack, I thought, was really well done and really well composed. The themes he made for The Penguin and Catwoman were all fantastic. They all need to be listened to. If you haven't listened to the score yet, I definitely recommend listening to it.
Let's go ahead and move on to our next award category, which is Best New On-Screen Character. One of the greatest things about seeing these Marvel and DC films and specials and series is seeing new characters realized that hadn't been previously. It's just magical when you get introduced to a new character.
Oh, absolutely. And new characters are being introduced every year. And every year I'm just like, wow, what a great time to be a comic fan, because I finally get to see this character on screen for the first time. It's amazing.
That being said, there weren't too many new ones for Marvel, so it was pretty easy to come up with my list. Let's go ahead and hear who the nominees were from executive producer AJ Dunkerley.
The nominees are Moon Knight from Moon Knight Season 1, Miss Marvel from Miss Marvel Season 1, Namor the Submariner from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Werewolf by Night from Werewolf by Night.
Well, I'm not surprised at all that She-Hulk was not on this list.
Yeah, fair enough.
But out of those choices, I have to say this is an easy win for Namor, I believe.
And the winner is Namor the Submariner. I do agree that he was a fantastic character. I would have personally given this to Werewolf by Night, but he was definitely the runner-up. Joe, this was a good choice, and thank you for letting me present this award.
Yeah, I mean, Namor came out with a bang in a way that I think no one expected. The interesting cultural take that director Ryan Coogler had for the character by making Atlantis Talocan off the Yucatan Peninsula, I think was an inspired choice. And I think actor Tenoch Huerta knocked it out of the park, and Namor himself was really fun to watch in action. I think Marvel has a great new character on their hands with Namor. We know that due to the Universal Pictures deal that Marvel has, we won't be seeing Namor in his own film, but I think he'll show up in an Avengers movie later on down the road, and really can't wait to see more.
Yeah, I mean, longtime listeners of the show know that I used to be a Marvel fan, and back when I was, even then I didn't like Namor. I thought he was a really goofy-ass character, but this movie cemented him as one of, I think, the coolest characters or coolest adaptations of a character in any Marvel or DC film to date. He was just so incredibly well imagined for the film, and I'm honestly proud of Marvel for the way they approached the character. It was brilliant. And yeah, the award is well-deserved. Easy guess. But let's move on to DC, with executive producer Miggy Matanguihan presenting the nominees for Best New On-Screen DC Character.
The nominees for the Best DC New On-Screen Character of 2022 are Black Adam from Black Adam, Jonathan Kent from Batman and Superman, Battle of the Super Sons, Sandman from The Sandman, Season 1. And Vigilante from Peacemaker, Season 1.
Oh shit, okay, you threw a curveball there for me with Vigilante, because I thought it was going to go to Black Adam. Now I'm kind of thinking it was Vigilante, because he was just so fucking crazy and endearing as a character. Ooh, but I know you really liked Sandman. I'm just gonna say that I think you gave this award to Black Adam.
And the award goes to Sandman from The Sandman, Season 1. No surprise, John loves The Sandman. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Yeah, dude, The Sandman. Everyone knows that I love the comic series The Sandman, written by Neil Gaiman. I think it's one of DC's best works, and not just DC's best, but amongst the best literary work that I've ever personally read. So to see that character adapted on screen as comics accurate as they did for me was a joy like none other. I've never really been a big fan of Black Adam as a character in the comics. Vigilante, same thing. Jonathan Kent is relatively new, but I've been reading Sandman since high school. So for me, this was really no contest of who is going to win this year. And he should have known that.
All right, a note to self. Anytime the Sandman comes up in a nomination, it's going to win, apparently. So, yeah.
I did think that your guess, The Black Adam, was a fantastic adaptation. The Rock did a great job, I thought. But again, Black Adam isn't nearly as interesting to me as The Sandman is.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it is interesting overall that Sandman is getting this award, considering, like, I never imagined that The Sandman would ever get adapted into live action, you know? So,
yeah, it's so high concept. It's great.
Let's go ahead and move on to our next award category, which is Best Villain. Now, everyone knows that a hero is only as good as their villains, and so we wanted to celebrate the best antagonists that 2022 had to offer. Yeah, when it comes to the medium of comic books, I think their villains are at a level higher than most other forms of media, because they could do things like destroy planets or just wreck a character to their very soul. Yeah, a good villain to me is judged by basically the hell they create for the main character. That said, the villains this year for Marvel sucked assholes. Like, name me a good villain from any of the Disney Plus television series. Exactly. So basically, I had to pull all the villains from the movies, and those were, you know, kind of hit or miss. You'll be able to tell when our executive producers, Scott and Gil Camacho, read off the nominees.
Scotty Macho here. I'm going to give you guys the nominees for Best Marvel Villain.
Whoa. I'm going to do it now. Gilly Macho here. And the nominees are Gore the God Butcherer from Thor Love and Thunder, Lucian Crown from Morbius, Namor the Submariner from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Scarlet Witch from Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Well, I mean, like, Christian Bale's Gore the God Butcher was probably the best part of that movie. Scarlet Witch was pretty formidable in Multiverse of Madness, but my guess is that this one's going to Namor as well.
And the winner is...
Namor the Submariner, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. He won.
The real Aquaman. I'm not even going to call him Aquaman. The real Namor wins. I agree with that.
Thank you, guys. Macho wins.
Out.
Thanks, Macho Twins. Yeah, Namor the Submariner gets the Best Villain Award. Now, I know that in the comic books, he's more of an anti-hero, but he was definitely the antagonist of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I mean, the dude killed Queen Ramonda. He fucked a lot of shit up. I was really surprised, actually, that the movie set him up to still be capable of redemption and even likable. But yeah, I thought it was just an amazing character. And compared to the rest of the other villains from this year, I think he stood out far and away the best.
Yeah, some of the best villains on screen believe that they are the hero, and you kind of see where they're coming from. This was absolutely the case when it came to Namor. Far and above better than any other Marvel villain this year. So yeah, again, no surprise, and very deserving of this year's award. But let's hear the DC nominees for Best Villain presented by executive producer Brandon Estergard.
I'll admit that 2022 hasn't been the kindest to Team DC. But aside from Ezra Miller in Hawaii or Amber Heard in court, one thing DC did not have in 2022 was a villain's problem. DC's villains came with amazing standout performances. The nominees for Best DC Villains 2022 are the Corinthian from Sandman Season 1, the Penguin from The Batman, the Riddler from The Batman, Sabak from Black Adam.
I gotta say, there's no way in hell that Sabak is winning this. The fact that he's on your nominees list makes me think that maybe it wasn't so great a year for DC either. The Corinthian being included on this actually intrigues me. I think it's gonna be between him and the Riddler, and between those two, I think I gotta give it to the Corinthian. That's my guess.
All right, guys. And the winner is the Riddler from Batman. Unfortunately, for legal reasons, Riddler is not here to receive the award, but will get its Arkham ASAP.
Fuck!
I knew I should have guessed the Riddler.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking earlier about what makes a good villain. I think what makes a very, very interesting villain is when he or she is successful. And the Riddler was in The Batman. Crazily so. Paul Dano just gave an amazing performance, even though he was behind a mask most of the time. His presence was just so palpable in the movie in a horrifying way. Like, he was a scary villain. And a scary take on the Riddler is a really interesting take, considering the character could be portrayed pretty goofy, as we saw with Jim Carrey and his portrayal. This was the opposite of that.
Yeah, totally.
And the interesting backstory they had for the character also kind of made you see where he was coming from. The fact that his family may have been caught up with shady business dealings with the Waynes kind of tied the protagonist's history with the villain's history. And I also thought that was a great setup.
It was interesting the point that you made about the villain being successful in this case. It's something that we rarely see. But you're right, when the worst case scenario happens, regardless of the hero's actions, it results in some of the best villains of all time. Batman has had a lot of great villains portrayed in movies over the years, and I think Riddler stands right up with the best of them.
And I think he also proves that DC villains are just so much better than Marvel villains.
No, Namor will beat the shit out of him. And he'll be like, no. Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to our next award category, which is Best Hero of 2022. As cool as villains are, they don't hold a candle to the heroes that we know and love. I think a good hero is defined by his ability to overcome the threat posed by the villain despite all odds, and is really marked by the heroic traits of courage and sacrifice.
And also inspiration. I think inspiring people is also a very heroic trait, and one that I think we saw this year from some of the heroes on screen.
Let's go to hear the nominees for Marvel presented by executive producer Ken Johnson.
Now for some Marvel love. The nominees for the Best Marvel Hero of 2022 are Black Panther from Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Moon Knight from Moon Knight Season 1, Doctor Strange from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Miss Marvel from Miss Marvel Season 1.
Oh, that's an interesting lineup, and I can't say that one sticks out as being more heroic than the others. So I'm going to take kind of a shot in the dark here and say that you gave the award for Best Hero to Doctor Strange. Not confident in that guess at all.
And the winner is Black Panther from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. This ends my contractually obligated Marvel spend.
Gosh dang it, I should have known. Why didn't I guess that? I should have guessed that.
Obviously, Black Panther, the struggle that Shuri had to go through in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, from the loss of her brother, the death of her mother, and the destruction of a lot of her country on behalf of Namor, was a lot to deal with, not just physically, but emotionally. I think she was put through the most. And we all felt that watching the movie. We all dealt emotionally with the loss of Chadwick Boseman. And I think that Letitia Wright, gave a great performance as Black Panther. To see her evolve over the course of these films and take her mantle as the rightful protector of Wakanda, I think was a great sight to behold. And the journey that she went on from then, learning how to be a warrior, but then also be more like her brother and extend mercy and not let vengeance consume her, and I think was really a fantastic arc and made for a great hero.
Yeah, this is an incredible choice. I can't believe I didn't guess this. Shame on me. Shame on me for not guessing Shuri.
Yeah, shame on you.
Well, let's move on to the DC nominees for Best Hero, presented by executive producer John Starosky.
The nominees for Best DC Hero of 2022 are Batman from The Batman, Black Adam from Black Adam, Crypto from League of Super Pets, and Peacemaker from Peacemaker Season 1.
Okay, it's either going to Batman or Peacemaker. They both had pretty good arcs in the course of their respective media. I think Peacemaker actually had the biggest character growth, but I think you're going to give it to Batman. So my guess is going to be The Batman.
And the winner of the Best DC Hero from 2022 is, and this is no surprise to me and I hope to anyone else, Peacemaker from Peacemaker Season 1. Like I said, I couldn't agree with this choice more. Peacemaker was just fantastic.
Son of a bitch, I knew I should have gone with my first guess.
Dude, you think I can't recognize a solid character arc? You don't know me. No, I think for largely the same reasons why you picked Black Panther as the best hero for this year. Peacemaker also had a fantastic growth arc to him. Everyone pretty much hated the character after he killed Rick Flag in the Suicide Squad film. So for James Gunn to make a character as sympathetic and funny and humorous and likable in general for the Peacemaker series, I thought was a tremendous feat.
Yeah, it was fascinating watching him go from this uncompromising soldier to this reluctant soldier and then to this heroic figure who kind of 180'd on his previous ideals for something greater and learning and growing along the way. I totally see why Peacemaker got this award, and I really wish I just would have went with him for my guess.
Yeah, we both have regrets for this category. It's not just me.
Let's see how we feel about the next award category, which is Best Moment for 2022. This is always a fun award to give out every year. It's really the moment that stood out in our minds the most from this Marvel and DC media. It could be anything from an emotional moment to an exciting one, anything that really stuck with us and will continue to stick with us as time goes on.
Yeah, this is always a tough category to narrow down the nominees for because almost every film has this unbelievable wow moment.
Or at least it should, right?
Right, yeah.
Let's go ahead and hear the Marvel nominees for Best Marvel Moment given by executive producer Zachary Hepburn.
And the nominees for Best Marvel Moment of 2022 are Cloak of the Damned from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Khonshu Turns Back the Skies from Moon Knight Season 1, Mantis's Gift to Peter from Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, T'Challa's funeral from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
The coolest scene of those choices, maybe not necessarily the most heartfelt, was the Cloak of the Damned from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So that's going to be my guess for the winner of this category.
And the winner is Cloak of the Damned from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I would have chosen the same thing, so good job, Joe.
Thanks, Zach. Yeah, I mean, I've had this moment in my head ever since the Doctor Strange movie came out. That moment near the end when Doctor Strange possesses the corpse of the body that's back on his Earth, I thought was incredible. You know, like the consequences of that are that you start getting attacked by these demons, and how Doctor Strange was able to basically use them to his advantage and turn them into like his new cloak, and just how that all played out between the sounds and the look of it, and how he used the cape offensively to fight the Scarlet Witch, I thought was so fucking badass. It was the most metal moment out of any Marvel and DC movie ever, and talking about it still gets me really excited.
Yeah, and it was a really surprising moment, too. Like, I remember seeing those zombie arms sticking out of him from the trailer, but the way they used that as a cape, it was just so, badass. You can't refer to it as anything else.
When I got this movie on digital, I rewatched that scene in particular like 3 times in a row just to get my fill of it, and it was so worth it.
Yeah, great scene, great choice, and great win for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. But let's hear the DC nominees for this category, presented by executive producer Dustyn Balcom.
All right, Dustyn here with the nominees for the best DC moment of 2022. And the nominees are the Batmobile chase from The Batman, Man in Black from Black Adam, Sandman versus Lucifer from The Sandman Season 1, or the satellite crash from Batman and Superman, Battle of the Super Sons.
Oh, those are all great moments. Every single one of those. I can see any of them winning. God, it's either between Sandman or Batman again. I'm betting it's going to go to the Batman Batmobile chase, though. That was pretty exciting. That's my guess.
And the winner is the Man in Black from Black Adam. Specifically, the moment he told Sabak, "Tell them the Man in Black sent you," before he ripped him in half. You know, that was a really, really great moment. But I think for me, I totally would have went with that Batmobile chase scene or the Sandman Lucifer fight. Both were, I think, better. Just saying.
I gotta agree.
What the fuck do you know? No, this was probably the most difficult category to narrow down. I loved the Batman's Batmobile chase. It was like, I think, the best Batmobile chase we've seen on screen. I loved seeing, the word game battle between Sandman and Lucifer realized in live action. And the satellite crash in Battle of the Super Sons was just so heartfelt and moving. But I don't think I was moved as much when, in the culmination of this moment, from Black Adam escaping his prison to coming back to Kahndaq, regaled in his new suit, to just fucking ripping Sabak in half while whispering that line. I was just standing on my feet, cheering in the theater. It was just...
No, you weren't.
Like, if people weren't around me, I totally would have. I wanted to. It was a fantastic moment. It was, like how you described your best moment, badass.
Now, usually every year you give like a really controversial choice that I think people will give you a lot of shit for. This is probably that choice.
How the hell is this controversial?
I just think Black Adam didn't resonate with a whole lot of people that much. And everyone knows that the Batmobile chase from the Batman movie was the best Batmobile chase that we've ever gotten.
And I agree with that. But like the Dr. Fate versus Sabak matchup with Black Adam escaping his prison, that was really heartfelt with Dr. Fate's voiceover.
It's one moment, though.
Well, this was that moment. Tell them the Man in Black sent you. Poof.
All right.
Fuck, you didn't explain myself to you.
Let's go to move on to our next award category, which is Best Actress in a Marvel or DC film in 2022. The Best Actor awards are always a lot of fun because these always feel like the most similar to like the Oscars. It's fun to award great performances. We come to these projects looking to believe that these characters are real, that they exist, and it takes a great performance to do that.
Yeah, acting is an art form, and I think a challenge, especially in comic book movies where there's a lot of special effects and actors have to use their imagination to work against backdrops such as green screens. So kudos to all the artists out there who were able to make us believe.
Presenting the Best Marvel Actress Award for 2022 is our executive producer, Miggy Matanguihan.
The nominees for the Best Marvel Actress of 2022 are Angela Bassett as Queen Ramonda from Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch from Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, Letitia Wright as Black Panther from Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk from She-Hulk: Attorney at Law.
Okay. So only one of these nominees was not what I would say is a leading role, but I do think she gave the best acting performance than the others. My guess is the award goes to Angela Bassett for her performance as Queen Ramonda.
And the award goes to Letitia Wright as Black Panther in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Yes, Queen! She totally deserved this. It only makes sense. Good job, Joe.
Thanks, Miggy. Yeah, Letitia Wright, largely because she was the leading actress of that film, and I think she had a weightier load to carry. I think she did just as great of a job as Angela Bassett, and it was just as heartfelt. But also, fucking badass. Letitia Wright absolutely nailed this role, which is impressive considering, the circumstances that led to her being the lead. In another world, her character would have had a very different role here, but Letitia stepped up to the plate in a way that actually surprised me watching the movie.
I agree. It was a fantastic performance. That said, Angela Bassett is already being nominated for acting awards for her performance, not Letitia Wright.
Who cares? This is the Brothers Awards.
That's true. Fuck all the other awards. This is the best one.
Damn straight.
Let's hear the DC nominees for Best Actress, presented by executive producer AJ Dunkerley.
Before I announce this award, I would just like to start off by saying that I am very happy to be a part of this community of executive producers and a part of this community of geeks and nerds and all alike. And I just want to thank the brothers for being amazing and pumping out content for us and always making sure that we always enjoy our time here. The award that I am about to announce is the Best DC Actress of 2022. And the nominees are Danielle Brooks as Leota Adebayo from Peacemaker Season 1. Gwendolyn Christie as Lucifer from The Sandman Season 1. Jennifer Holland as Amelia Harcourt from Peacemaker Season 1. And Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman from The Batman.
Okay, all right. So a lot of these were supporting actress roles, but I think the one that stood out in my mind the most was probably, I'm going to say, Danielle Brooks as Adebayo from Peacemaker Season 1. I think she had a tremendous arc there, and she actually surprised me a lot in that role. That's my guess.
And the winner is Jennifer Holland as Amelia Harcourt from Peacemaker Season 1. I really hope you guys seen Peacemaker because she was phenomenal. And I absolutely agree with this winner. And Johnny, good pick for this.
Yeah, so it was a tough choice between Danielle Brooks and Jennifer Holland for this year's Best Actress Award. I agree with you that Danielle Brooks gave a fantastic performance, but I think there was a little bit more required of Jennifer Holland in her role, not only physically, but emotionally. She also had to deliver on the humor, and she became really integral to the protagonist of the series as the series progressed, his primary love interest. And the moment in the final episode where, spoiler, she's dying, I think was a pivotal moment in the show that the other characters really didn't have. Seeing Jennifer Holland go from this sort of nondescript, no-name character from the Suicide Squad to giving a leading performance in the TV show, I thought spoke to a fantastic performance on her behalf.
Well, either way, I'm just glad that the award went to one of the actresses from the Peacemaker show because I thought they were really well written for that show. I guess I'm a little bit surprised to see that the Adriana character from Black Adam didn't get a nomination because I thought her role was quite substantial in Black Adam.
Oh yeah, Sarah Shahi, she did do a fantastic job. This was another tough category to nail down. I did think Gwendolyn Christie kind of gave a better performance than she did, just technically, so she didn't make the cut, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll say she gets an honorable mention for this category.
All right, let's move on to the next award, which is Best Actor for Marvel and DC in 2022. Again, these are the artists that make us believe in these roles and that these characters are real. It's not an easy job, but somebody's got to do it, and we're happy to celebrate the ones that do. As far as Marvel goes, there were actually a ton of great actors this year. I had such a hard time nailing this down.
Girl, same.
What? The nominees for Marvel, given by our executive producer, Brandon Estergard.
2022 was a standout year for Marvel character introductions. Among the performances, one stood above the rest. It is my honor to present the 2022 Dynamic Dual Brothers Award for Best Marvel Actor. The nominees are Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Gael Garcia Bernal as Werewolf by Night in Marvel's special Werewolf by Night, Oscar Isaac as Mark Spector / Moon Knight in Disney Plus's Moon Knight series, and last but certainly not least, Tenoch Huerta as Namor the Submariner in Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Oh yeah, those are some great nominees. I think each of those actors gave a commendable performance. But that said, I know you were in love with Oscar Isaac's performance as Moon Knight in the Moon Knight series for Disney Plus, so that's my guess.
And the winner is Oscar Isaac as Mark Spector / Moon Knight. Hell yeah. Congratulations, Oscar Isaac, for winning this year's Best Marvel Actor Award.
He was a chameleon in that role, and I think more was asked of Oscar Isaac in his performance than any other Marvel actor, maybe to date.
That's fair. Yeah, probably.
Because it was really multiple roles, including Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, and, we saw a little bit of Jake Lockley at the end. And I knew Oscar Isaac was going to do well. He's one of the best actors of our time. And I hope that, the Disney Plus series aren't the only chances we get to see of him. I'd really like to see that character intermingle with the greater MCU.
Yeah, in past years, I've given this award to Diane Guerrero as Crazy Jane in the show Doom Patrol for similar reasons. She plays a character with multiple personalities, and I've described that like as an actor's dream role. It can't be easy, and I would agree with you that Oscar Isaac nailed this performance out of the park. I totally adored Stephen Grant in the show, and he did feel completely separate from Mark Spector. I can't wait to see if they have future seasons of this series where we could see even more takes on different characters from Oscar Isaac. Great choice. But let's hear the DC nominees for Best Actor, presented by executive producers Scott and Gil Camacho.
Welcome, everybody, to the Brother Award. I'm Scotty DC, and I'm his twin brother, Mark Gil. I am honored to announce the Best DC Actor of 2022. The nominees are Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam for Black Adam, John Cena as Peacemaker from Peacemaker Season 1, Robert Pattinson as Batman from The Batman, and Tom Sturridge as Sandman from The Sandman Season 1.
All those nominees are great. I think besides Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I think it's going to come down to either John Cena, Tom Sturridge, or Robert Pattinson. I think you're going to give it to Robert Pattinson. That's my guess. Let's see.
And the winner is John Cena Peacemaker for Peacemaker Season 1. I'm not mad at it. Yeah, the DC fan, this is a win. There is no losers on that one.
He was good in Suicide Squad, and then when he had his own TV show, killed it.
Oh, congratulations, brothers, on another year. And to John Cena, Best Actor for DC of 2022.
So I see the look of shock on your face, and I'm not surprised why. I was also surprised by John Cena's performance. I didn't think he was an actor quality enough to earn an acting award, but this past season of Peacemaker totally proved me wrong. I think he totally delivered what was asked of him, and I was surprised by the amount of emotion I felt based on his performance. Whether he was playing the piano, whether he was dancing around, or whether he was cracking jokes, I was there for every moment of it. He made me feel so much, and that's why I gave him the win.
I guess you could say that he exhibited more range within his role than either Pattinson or Sturridge did.
Absolutely. I mean, Pattinson and Sturridge are fantastic actors, but you're right. Their performance was very one note, whereas I can't say that about John Cena's Peacemaker.
It was all the notes. It was all of them. He went up and down the scale.
Yeah, totally.
Well, congrats to John Cena, I guess. Kind of surprising, but also well-earned.
We can see you, man, and you're doing great. Honestly, I'm pretty sure we'll get season 2, but even if that is his last time as the character, I think he did a fantastic job, and no one could ever take that from him.
That's true. That's true. All right, time for the penultimate award category for this show. That is Best Series/Special for Marvel and DC in 2022. Now, usually this award is just Best Series. That's what it was last year. But we added special to this due to the inclusions of specials on Disney Plus, which are not quite feature-length films. So we didn't want to include them in the Best Picture category. We thought they sat well here amongst the series.
Yeah, and also we've never really had a way to award the shorts that DC has put out, the collected ones, such as Constantine, The House of Mystery, that came out earlier this year. So we're including that in this category as well. We don't include the word shorts in the award title, but this is the award category where they are eligible to be nominated.
Yeah, basically we just define a special as something the length of a television episode, shorter than a full-length picture. Let's hear the Marvel nominees given by executive producer Dustyn Balcom.
All right, Dustyn here with the nominees for the Best Marvel Series or Special of 2022, and they are the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Moon Knight Season 1, Miss Marvel Season 1, or Werewolf by Night.
Well, I know you really liked the Werewolf by Night special, but I gotta give my guess to what was my personal favorite, and that was Miss Marvel Season 1. So that's my guess.
And the winner is Werewolf by Night.
And I should have gone with your guess, clearly. Damn it.
Yeah, every single special and series that came out this year from Marvel had its ups and downs. I really, really enjoyed Miss Marvel Season 1. We gave it 4 stars in our review, saying that while it was a great introduction to the Miss Marvel character, it kind of fell apart at the end due to the villain issue that the series had.
True.
And I don't think Werewolf by Night had that same issue. We also gave it 4 stars, but I liked it more because I think it was a more pure execution of the concept it was portraying, essentially. I think it also gave us something new that we had never seen before, obviously as a black and white horror special that opened wide this new corner of the MCU that I'm really excited about exploring further.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that it gets the win. It is the most unique thing that Marvel Studios has put out to date by far, and I think I knew it was going to be from the first time we saw the trailer for it. I've seen people online say that this is their favorite Marvel piece of media that they've ever seen. That's a stretch, I think, for me by far.
Yeah, same for me personally, but I could absolutely see why some people would think that. Absolutely.
No, I don't get those people at all. I do not see where they're coming from. You say I have hot takes. I think this is your hot take.
Perhaps, but I'm willing to live with that.
Well, let's get into the DC nominees for Best Series/Special, presented by executive producer Zachary Hepburn.
The nominees for Best DC Series or Special of 2022 are Constantine, House of Mystery, Harley Quinn, Season 3, Peacemaker, Season 1, The Sandman, Season 1.
All right, this is definitely coming down to either Peacemaker Season 1 or The Sandman Season 1. And I don't know which direction to go. I think you're going to give it to Sandman over Peacemaker. That's my guess. Let's see.
And the winner is The Sandman Season 1. And yes, 100% The Sandman was amazing. So, good job.
Holy shit, you finally guessed one correctly.
Finally, fuck.
Now, this was a tough choice for me because I really enjoyed Peacemaker, but I also really enjoyed The Sandman. And I just feel like The Sandman was so well realized, and I don't think it was easy to adapt, but they did a fantastic job, in my opinion. The world that they built in The Dreaming was just so beautifully realized. This is Warner Brothers' most expensive television series, like even more so than Game of Thrones, and I think it's pretty apparent.
I absolutely agree with you that The Sandman was harder to adapt than Peacemaker. The showrunners had a huge undertaking on their hands with something as unique as Neil Gaiman's The Sandman. And I was skeptical, I'm not going to lie, but I definitely came away from that series appreciating what they had done and in some ways in awe of what they had done.
Yeah, the number of characters and different timelines and stories that they have to tell is just a monumental feat, I think, for any series. And it's so unique in that regard that I think it's pretty special. And I'm really excited to see what they do with season 2.
But that brings us to our final award for the evening. That is, of course, the Best Picture award for Marvel and DC, given to the best movie to come out this year.
Yeah, it was great being in the theaters this year after the pandemic, just sharing in these thematic experiences with larger groups of people. I love movie theaters, and I loved a lot of the movies that came out this year.
There were only 4 full-length feature films that came out for Marvel. Only half of them, I think, could be qualified as great. So my nominee list might be a little bit lacking, but there was a clear winner. Let's go ahead and hear what the nominees were, as read by executive producer John Starosky.
The nominees for the Best Marvel Picture of 2022 are Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Morbius, and Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah, for me, this is really no contest. Morbius sucked. Love and Thunder sucked. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was okay. I think it could have been better. So I think the obvious winner is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. That's my guess. It's barely even a guess. It's a for sure thing.
And the winner of the Best Picture for Marvel 2022 is Morbius.
I'm sorry. What?
Now, of course, you know that was a joke. But no, the honest and true winner this year is, in fact, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. So this movie winning Best Marvel Picture of 2022 should come as no surprise. And though Morbius was the greatest movie of all time, it definitely did not surpass Black Panther. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present, and good job, boys, on another year of great podcasting.
Dude, you have no idea how close I just came to quitting this podcast.
That was a great gag by John Starosky. No, but he's right, though. While Morbius may be the best film to ever come out of all time, the best picture for 2022 for Marvel is actually Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I think it goes without saying, the movie was such a great homage to the legendary Chadwick Boseman, who unfortunately passed away several years ago. We weren't quite sure what this movie would bring us, and I think Marvel did a great job of hiding that from us within the marketing. But when the film actually came out, I was more than satisfied with what they put out. I think it was an incredible movie, despite the fact that they were put in this impossible circumstance. So I have to commend Ryan Coogler, all the actors that worked on it. Every aspect of the film was great, from the story to the visual effects. And I think Black Panther was not only the best film of this year, I think it was one of the better Marvel films to be released by Marvel Studios. It's got to be at least like in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not typical Marvel fare, I would say. There wasn't a lot of humor. There wasn't too much action, but it did what it set out to do and just make this really heartfelt experience. I think you described it best during our review of the film, where you experience the film sort of on multiple levels, where you're recognizing the performances of the actors are more than just performances, but potentially real life reactions to the death of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, it made it very special. There was no way I could not give this award to Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
I do got to say that the whole meme that Morbius is the greatest film of all time is stupid, and I hate anyone who promotes it.
It's hilarious because it actually resulted in Sony re-releasing Morbius for a time in theaters. I think that's fantastic, though.
What are they doing? Twitter is not real life. But kudos to the filmmakers of Black Panther Wakanda Forever for winning this award. I know it is a humble award, but we give it with great respect and admiration. But let's move on to what everyone came here for, the nominees for Best Picture for DC, presented by executive producer Ken Johnson.
The nominees for the Best DC Picture of 2022 are The Batman, Batman and Superman, Battle of the Super Sons, Black Adam, League of Super Pets.
I think this one's pretty obvious too, considering the nominees. I gotta give it to The Batman. That's my guess. Again, barely a guess. It's a for sure thing.
And the winner is The Batman. He might not be sparkling, but he definitely took a shine to this guy's heart.
Yeah, I loved The Batman. So much so, we gave it a 5-star rating in our review of the film. It was near perfect and really the David Fincher-esque Batman film I had always dreamed of seeing one day on screen. People may complain about its length. People may complain about Robert Pattinson in the role, but those people are just wrong. This was a fantastic movie, very dark, very frightening, as a good Batman film should be, and I think a great piece of cinema.
Yeah, I mean, I have my issues with the movie. I wanted to give it 4.5 stars. For some reason, you wanted to give it a perfect score, but it absolutely transcends the superhero genre and gives us a legit crime thriller in the vein of something like Silence of the Lambs or Seven, which is not something that we had largely been exposed to as fans of the genre.
Yeah, outside of Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. And as great as that film was, I would say that this was on par. And it gave us something that I think we've always wanted to see in a Batman film, and that was a detective Batman.
Right. Yeah, more so than his other incarnations. It is kind of hard to see how this version of Batman can play in a larger cinematic universe. It's unclear if he will be or not. But with how interesting this film was, it would be fascinating to see him one day appear in an ensemble Justice League film. Maybe James Gunn will go down that route, but I think he has a while to get there regardless.
Yeah, if The Batman is a start to a new cinematic universe for DC, I could not be happier. It may be a challenge, but I think it's worth the challenge.
Yeah, and to that end, hoping for the best in 2023 for DC in regards to this upcoming slate of DC films planned by James Gunn and Peter Safran. Hopefully their announcements are worth all the current drama.
Yeah, it's been kind of weird being a DC fan these past few years, and I'm very uncertain as to what the future will be, but I cannot be looking forward to it more than I am. Because with the announcement of James Gunn's new Superman movie and the talent that he has as a creative filmmaker is auteur level, in my opinion, and very exciting.
And as far as the future of Marvel goes, I don't think we have anything to worry about. We're just going to keep trucking along. You know, reports are saying that we're going to focus on quality over quantity, so we may have less projects eligible for Brothers Awards in the future, but that's fine. I'm here for it all anyway.
Yeah, I think that's a smart move on behalf of Marvel, because I think you could consider 2022 the year that DC took the lead in terms of public favorability.
Oh, hell no. That's
because Marvel just sucked this year. Holy
that's
shit.
Bullshit.
What a bunch of crap they put out. Man.
DC does not even have a universe anymore. DC didn't overtake shit. Maybe give yourself 5 years to, catch up, and then we could have this conversation again.
The Batman was incredible. Black Adam was fun as hell. Way more fun than anything Marvel put out. Not even close.
No, wasn't more fun than Doctor Strange, and Batman was not better than Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So you're smoking crack.
You're wrong on both of those accounts, my friend. And I think you're just in denial.
I think you have delusions of grandeur, which is worse.
Denial.
That wasn't a question. I was saying it was worse. But that does it for this year's 7th annual Brothers Awards. I can't believe we've done 7 of these. We'll be wrapping up our 7th year of this podcast next month in January, at which time we will begin our 8th year. That's just bonkers. That's mind-blowing. I never thought that when we started this podcast on our 30th birthday that we would be doing this 7 years down the road. But here we are and having a great time doing it.
Yeah, and 2023 seems to be wrapping up to be a blast as well. DC is going to be putting out more theatrical films this year than they have I think, ever, with the 4 being Aquaman, Blue Beetle, The Flash, and Shazam Fury of the Gods.
Yeah, Marvel has a ton of projects coming out, including Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, The Marvels, and Kraven the Hunter.
Too much.
But podcast stuff aside, on a more personal note, I'm really looking forward to 2023 when my baby girl is born in June. I'm not sure what's going to happen to the podcast at this point. It's likely that we will have to switch to a different release schedule, but we will play it by ear at that point. And until then, we'll keep producing the weekly content for you guys.
Yeah, congrats, man. I'm super excited for you this upcoming year. And yeah, if I have to do this podcast by myself for a couple of weeks, so be it.
Maybe. I mean, part of me wants to say over my dead body, but another part of me says that may end up happening. We'll see.
We'll see. But I think that does it for this episode. Next week, we will be doing a review of the 2012 DC animated film, Teen Titans: The Judas Contract.
And that will lead into a duel between the geokinetic character of Terra against the seismic vibration-inducing character Avalanche from the Brotherhood of Mutants. It'll be a lot of fun. Be sure to tune into those episodes. We want to give an especially big thanks to our executive producers this episode. Thank you guys so much for helping us out with presenting the awards. So shout out to Ken Johnson, John Starosky, Zachary Hepburn, Dustyn Balcom, Miggy Matanguihan, Brandon Estergard, Nathaniel Wagner, Levi Yeaton, Nick Abanto, Austin Wesolowski, AJ Dunkerley, Scott Camacho, and Gil Camacho for helping make this podcast possible. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Up and away.
True believers.